welcome to Frey and Slay. Today, we are going to be talking politics, but we're going to have some fun with it. So, with that said, let's begin. In February, Texas was hit with an unprecedented winter storm that devastated the state and left many Texans without power for days. Immediate outrage shortly followed when it was discovered that Senator Ted Cruz and his family caught a flight out of Texas to head to sunny and warm Cancun, Mexico. While Ted Cruz claimed he was only escorting his children to Cancun, text messages from a group chat that included Cruz's wife, Heidi Cruz, proved otherwise. So my question is, when it comes to group chats, what are the rules for sharing?
Don't share my business. If I said it in the chat, it's between us and the chat.
And I will clarify, Ted Cruz's wife, Heidi Cruz, shared with neighbors, several neighbors, that they were going to Mexico and invited her neighbors to join them if they wanted to. And one of the neighbors who chose to remain anonymous leaked the group text.
Because they don't like her no way. They don't like her.
You have to know your audience. Like, why would you send something like that to people who may not be in your immediate circle and expect them not to share? Like, people are hurting, they're going through things, and the neighbors who stayed, they're probably like, the fuck? Like, really? Are y'all going to Mexico and we're dealing with this? And then you're gonna put out this bogus statement and expect us not to call you on your shit? No, absolutely not. I'm sharing it. Anonymous. Anonymous.
Because this guy his whole role is the face of Texas. And then you're leaving us here freezing, our pipes are bursting, and you're going over the border for vacation and just kind of leaving us stuck here. So yeah, I think I'll spread it out there too.
Yes.
I probably would took my black ass to Cancun too. If it was cold, everybody snowbirds, is that what they call? They go from the winter to the warmer weather. I mean, just say what you're doing. Don't lie.
Yeah.
We're going for warmer weather. Yeah, we can afford to do that. We're gonna go do that. I apologize for the situation they're in. What can I do? I can't go give everybody heat in the house. I can't fix the mess up that Texas has already started. What do y'all want me to do? Sit here and be freezing? Like,
yeah, because he is supposed to be there taking care of the state. You can't run off. So
what are you gonna do?
Well, I will say this. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez from New York raised over $4 million for Texas aid, and then made a trip down there to actually help with the food bank area. So there are things that he could have done. Was he obligated to? No, but there are things he could have done.
He was obligated when he ran for that position, and he's representing that state. That's one of the sacrifices you have to make when you're doing that. If you don't want to do that and you want to say peace out anytime when a disaster happens, then you in the wrong line of business.
This the man, ain't this the same dude that couldn't even defend his wife when Trump was bullying her? Why he gonna defend the whole state and he couldn't defend his wife? Like, come on. You got a point. You got a point. You get what you asked for. If he can't even stand up for the woman he said I do to, he said I do to y'all people.
Wait, I think we're looking at this because the senator, they're not necessarily running the state. That's the governor. The governor's role to implement all those safeguards and protocols, not the senator. The senator is just trying to push through stuff and legislation on behalf.
He didn't let her raise his hand and pass her. He didn't let her raise his hand and pass her. Raise his hand and pass her.
It's actually running.
Raise his hand and pass her.
It's actually running the state.
But you have an obligation.
Well, we're not saying running it.
Office.
But on the legislative level, not within running the state. That's not.
But we're not saying running the state. However, you're representing the state.
Yeah.
Everybody with the license plate is representing the state.
Cruz is not the governor of the state, so he's not the captain of the ship. So he don't have to go down with the ship. Now, I'm not saying what he did was right, but I'm just saying, from a responsibility standpoint, he's not responsible when it comes to the day-to-day running of that state.
he could have given everybody some heaters, you know, but what they gonna plug it up in? They ain't got no power. So I mean, what you gonna? I mean, let's be real.
Okay,
what
but
can
what's
he
the
do?
Okay, but then he came back and made this photo out of him putting some bottled water in cars.
Everybody, because he's a coward. He is a coward. He cares what other people think. See me, I would have been in Cancun sipping on my tea, reading the Twitter pages like, oh, they bad. Check please. Like, oh well, do your thing.
What's the rules of the group chat? I mean, you know.
Thank you. That's what I was gonna.
Yeah.
What stays in the chat versus what do you share with your spouse?
Don't be sharing stuff that I say in the group chat.
I think
or your
basic
friend.
conversation. I think basic conversations. We have a lot of basic conversations about politics and different things. So stuff like that, and you're saying, "Oh, we chat about this." Or what are your thoughts on this? Or this is what happened. What do you think? But when it comes to like personal things within our immediate families, I think that's off limits.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So it's kind of like the same etiquette that you tell your kids when they go into grandma's house. Don't you tell grandma that I bought a new couch. Don't you tell don't tell the business that I tell
the home
y'all
business
in my chat.
So if we're looking at it that way, then what the neighbor did really wasn't like out of bounds because it wasn't like it wasn't something.
I don't think she did anything wrong.
That's a neighbor. That's a neighbor.
Right. That's your neighbor.
That's a neighbor. That neighbor is not your friend.
Right.
The neighbor is not your friend.
Well, clearly not now.
Friendship, yeah. If it's a true friendship and they did something like that, then that neighbor better move when I get back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put
I
dog
think more
poop on
than
their lawn.
one person shared too, or maybe
But
other
none
people
of them
like
them.
corroborate.
Did they ever say what their reasoning was for sharing? Were they just so off put by them going? Is that why they shared, or were they just
they didn't like that they lied?
I'm guessing there was probably feeling like they were abandoning the state, and so wanting to kind of expose that. But I don't know for sure why it was shared. But they asked to remain anonymous, so clearly they intentionally share that information.
I thought everything was bigger in Texas. I mean, clearly everybody cowards. I ain't trying to say it to everybody. I'm just saying. I mean, clearly everybody cowards. I ain't trying to say it to everybody. I'm just saying, maybe Ted Cruz's neighbors need to rethink their stuff.
They asked to remain anonymous, but I'm sure it wasn't hard to figure out who it was.
All you had to do was click on the picture.
No.
Right. The one that was like, "Bitch, y'all going for real?" She shared.
Right. Yep.
Or the people that stayed silent in the chat when they replied, when they said that.
Didn't respond.
The people that stayed silent.
No, the chat you want to see is the other chat that happened without his wife in it.
Can you believe that they said that they doing this because of the news? Didn't Trump say she looked like a man? He ain't say nothing. He grew a beard out. All he did was, in response, grow a beard. That was his response. He said, "Me and my wife both gonna have beards."
Her husband threw under the bus.
Yep.
Poor thing.
Beards in the bus.
She might have come on over to the Democrats.
So that's what happened. Everybody that they replied to was Democrats. And they
she probably has trust issues at this point of like.
No, they were cold and they wanted heat.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in. This has been Frey and Slay Politics Edition, and feel free to comment below if there's anything you want to add, or if there's any other questions you have. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And thank you so much for tuning in. Bye.